If you were born on the 14th, or if you have a 14 life path, your energy is associated with the Temperance Tarot card. If you look at the Temperance Tarot card, which is the 14th card in the deck, what you will see is an angel that is standing with one foot in the water and his other foot is on land. This symbolizes balance because the water and earth signs are on the opposite ends of the zodiac spectrum. Scorpio is the opposite to Taurus, Capricorn is the opposite to Cancer, and Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. And the reason why the number 14 is associated with temperance is because number 14 is a karmic number. And temperance is what a 14 needs to have in order to activate the abilities of the number 14. Anytime you are dealing with a karmic number, the karma locks the powers and the abilities of that number and forces you to learn some particular karmic lesson in order to unlock those abilities. And so people that are dealing with karmic numbers, like in the case of the 14, they deal with reoccurring patterns or reoccurring themes that happen to them over and over and over and over again that they cannot escape from or be liberated from or have freedom from until they learn the lesson. That lesson is the key. And the lesson of key 14 is temperance, balance, self-control, moderation. The 14 is a combination of the numbers 1 and 4, which creates 5. And 5's strongest desire is for freedom and to pursue their curiosity. The reason why the numbers 1 and 4 produce somebody that has a strong desire for freedom and curiosity is because the 1 in the number 14 wants to create. It wants to take risks. It wants to express its will. It wants to prove itself by expressing its self-belief. It wants to do things that no one has ever done before. But the 4 doesn't want to take risks. It doesn't want to do new things. The 4 craves reliability, stability. It wants security. It wants to do things that they know works. They want to stick to the tried and the true. They want to do things that people have already done before because that's how they'll know. They know that if they did the exact thing that this person did, they're going to get the same result. And so 4s, they want to do things that they know is going to work. They like facts. They care about results. They don't want to take risks. They don't want to do something that it's not known if it's going to be done before. But the 5 in them wants freedom. It wants to be liberated from the energies of the 1 and the 4. Because the energies of the 1 and the 4 are very different. And so what you get is somebody who feels restricted, somebody who wants to be free. The big part of them wants to take risks, but the other side of them does not want to take risks. And so 14s end up fluctuating between being extremely disciplined, being extremely routine-oriented, being extremely structured, setting out, creating a plan, and then sticking to that plan. And then once they do that long enough, they start to feel like a caged lion. And then something in them explodes. And then they just go to being completely chaotic. They chase everything that gives them mental stimulation. They may chase pleasures. They may just chase anything. Wherever their curiosity brings them, that's where they're going to go. And then once they do that long enough, then they start going like, man, I need to be disciplined again. And they just fluctuate their entire lives between being extremely disciplined and being extremely chaotic. And so 14s are only going to have a productive life if they're able to find balance between discipline, structure, and then freedom. And so y'all need a career or a purpose in life that gives you continuous excitement, but it's disciplined. Because the 4 wants stability. The 4 wants to do things over and over and over and over again. And the 1 in the number 14 craves excitement, while the 5 craves freedom. And you're only going to find freedom through learning how to balance your craving for excitement and then also your craving for stability and discipline and routines. And so what you are is somebody that wants continuous excitement. And so you're going to need a career that is very routine oriented, but it continuously gives you excitement. And this is why 14s tend to be very addictive. And this is why a lot of them can struggle with substance addictions or very unhealthy addictions, because they want to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. That 4 in the number 14 makes them want that continuity, but the 1 wants the excitement. And so this is why we have people like Conor McGregor, who's a famous 14, who did something like the UFC. Because the UFC is This is a very routine-oriented type of career, because there's enough variety, they're able to travel, they're able to get excitement, because when they win a fight, the crowd goes wild. They're able to be happy. But even if you look at Conor McGregor's career, he would fluctuate between being extremely disciplined and then being extremely wild and chaotic. And so you can even see that in him. Another good example of 14 is Donald Trump, also born on the 14th. He's an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is the perfect thing for a 14 to pursue, because entrepreneurs have to live a very routine-oriented lifestyle, but they get variety, they get stimulation, they get excitement, they get to meet new people, they get to travel the world, they get to communicate and exchange information. Another good example is Stephen Curry, another 14. Being in the NBA or playing a professional sport, it requires discipline, it requires routine, but it also gives them that excitement. And so 14s need to pursue something that's going to give them continuous excitement. They need to find something healthy that's going to give them continuous excitement. When a 14 finds that, something that's going to give them continuous excitement, this is when they're going to feel liberated. And this is when they're going to gain enlightenment, which is just fulfillment. To learn more about my numerology teachings, click the link in my profile bio and read my book, Supreme Mathematics. Or if you would like a reading, just book a session. You can also find that in the link in my profile bio. But have a good rest of your day, guys.